as part of our monitoring plan for our black bear population, we have several females collared in the state, as you can see with this GPS radio collar here. And this not only allows us to track the bears and assess their survival, you know, how long do they live, what potentially do they die from, but in the case of when we're here in the wintertime, we can also track females to their den sites and see how many cubs they have. And then that allows us to assess their recruitment rates, or how many young do they have each year, and do they survive to adulthood. And so today we have drugged this female, 1534, and she is nicely asleep. Her body condition is really good, and she had a couple cubs we found today, and so now we can at least mark that she gave birth to at least 2 cubs. And then now we actually are going to set some cameras around this area to see that once those cubs get a little bigger, does she leave this den area with those cubs, 1. And then 2, next year, then we hope to keep tracking her throughout the year. And then next year, we hope to see how many of those cubs made it to the yearling age. And that helps us assess the population over time.
So why is this important that we do this, you know, to keep track of the bear population and stuff? How does this help us kind of keep going with the Missouri's bears? Yeah,
so a big part of tracking the population over time is that recruitment rate. And so if you have high recruitment, then you can expect the population to grow annually, and that means the population is healthy, is expanding. But if we see lower recruitment rates, then that suggests that maybe there's something going on with our bear population, and that we, you know, in some cases, maybe we need to make some management changes. Right now, our population is healthy, strong, growing. And so, you know, right now we have a hunting season that we allow folks to have the opportunity to harvest a few animals, but even the loss of those animals has very low impact on the population. And so we, you know, being able to continue to track these females and just count their cubs is what we use to see how that population health is doing.
Now, I find it interesting, you know, you're talking population. What is the estimated population here in the state of Missouri for black bears?
So we just recently reran our population models, and we estimate there to be about 930 bears in the state with an annual growth rate of about 9%. So in about 10 years, we expect that population to double in size unless something changes. So right now we're at a really great trajectory for the population. We continue to see bears. We're in core territory right now in southern Missouri, but we continue to see bears move northward and up closer to the Missouri River, and we are continuing to get new sightings north of the river, which is really exciting because our population is recolonizing the state, which is great.
Now, a really cool thing today you were showing us, black bears, you can hear, oh, they're going to go hibernate, and they're going to hibernate. We're always thinking of caves, but not necessarily. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so you know, the whole point of hibernation for bears is to go to sleep when there isn't a lot of food available. Bears need a lot of food to maintain themselves, and you know, in the winter months, there's usually not a lot of food. You know, this year in particular, we had a lot of acorns, and so some bears aren't sleeping as much because there's still food around. But females like this one that had fresh cubs, they need to be in hibernation no matter what, because they need a safe place to give birth to their young and allow them a safe, warm place to grow until they're at an age where they can move around on their own. So sometimes you do have that classic bear sleeping in a cave, but in many cases here in Missouri, we see our bears sleeping under root balls, digging out underneath the roots and making a little enclosure there. Or in other cases like this bear, they'll just find a brush pile and dig out some of that brush and then put a bunch of leaves in and make a little nest. And on random occasions, you'll see a spot opening like this, and they'll just pile the leaves up and make a nest, and they'll just have a little den right there. You know, here in Missouri, because we don't have as extreme of weather conditions, say as the Mountain West, or even just the northern Midwest, you know, bears don't need as much cover from the weather because it just doesn't stay sustainably cold versus, say, northern Minnesota, where they get several feet of snow and it's, you know, it doesn't get above freezing for several months. So it's kind of a unique thing here in Missouri, and you know, as you move further south, you see less fully enclosed den structures and more open air ones.
And last, before, you know, when this bear comes to, I mean, when you knock her out to do some checking and stuff on her, giving her a checkup, basically, does this affect her at all? Have any problems with her later on? I mean, I know we get a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, no, the drugs that we use to sedate these animals and immobilize them, it's very safe. You know, we make sure to watch the respiration. She is breathing real nice. We do have her on oxygen just to help with the process. We check her respiration, her heartbeat, and how much oxygen she's getting, and this animal is definitely stable, healthy. We take her temperature, but yeah, once she comes out of this drug, she'll be just fine. She'll be a little groggy for a day, but we found there's no effect on the cubs. You know, the cubs will be nursing immediately after we put them back in the den, but cubs will be fine, she'll be fine, and we've been using this drug for years, and yeah, it's a very nice drug because it's safe for the animals.